None of this seems right. What am I at you like monsters in the night, and you feel the danger that makes you wanna hide. When the cards are stacked against you and you're standing on the edge, now's the time, now's the time. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other. 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 When you're falling faster and don't know where you are, you feel the danger closer than your heart. When the weight is getting heavy and the future is unsteady, close your eyes, close your eyes. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other. 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 That's when we need each other.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can take a break from the World Cup for now. Is there a match going on? Fusion and I were just talking about it for the longest time. There should be a match coming up for that. So if you're watching that, fair enough. If you want to watch some Rocket League that's not with people, instead it's with cars, I highly encourage you to enjoy some Week 6 action. It is Friday, of course. That means it's Challenger Week and Challenger Day. Excuse me. It's always Challenger Week, but this week's a little bit different. There's only one match played. There's instead of two, so we're back to kind of the old school format of way back when, when you and I were competing, of winning one match a week and then you lose it and you're kind of like, well, we should have won. But it's kind of how it is for us right now, is you play one match a week. But for Challenger and Rising Star, they play two. But this week, the solo single header week of the season, season number 13, week number split number 6, split number 2, excuse me, week number 6, and it's the only doubleheader on the cards. And Fusion, it's going to be an interesting week because these teams are used to having kind of that second series. So, like, if they lose the first one, they're going to be confident for the second one. Well, there is no second one. There's just the only one. So you really want to lock in on the one match you got on this schedule.
Yeah, I mean, if there's ever a week to miss for Challenger and Rising Star, this is the week, because instead of missing 2 matches, you miss one. But I mean, this will be a true test of these teams, because you won't be playing with against a team that has had a match day warm up, or you won't be playing with a match day warm up against a team who is just starting out their weekend. But yeah, first match today is going to be St. Paul versus Minneapolis. How do you think this series is going to go, Stewie?
It's interesting because St. Paul is trying to kind of adjust the roster, but they haven't gotten many bites on some trades, so they're kind of running out of time with that. But it's not like they've had a bad season. I mean, if you look at the standings, they are okay. Sitting right now in what looks like 6th place. They're 5-4, and they won last week. Went actually 1-for-1. And they're playing a Miracles team that are a little bit behind them, but close in points. They're only 10 points off. But if I had to pick, I'd pick St. Paul purely because of who we know is on the roster, and we know the success that they've had. But yeah, it's just I have to lean towards the St. Paul side, but you can't really count the Minneapolis roster out by any means. They're perfectly capable of winning some winning matches and scoring goals and making saves and doing all the necessary stuff. But yeah, we'll kind of see what happens here for these two teams. But if you're Minneapolis, like, you're only trying to close that gap, that 10-point lead. So we'll see how things change. But yeah, looking back at the schedule, Fusion mentions the first series of St. Paul versus Minneapolis. The second one, Green Bay and Fargo, will be interesting based on the rumblings over the last couple of minutes. And Brainerd and Bloomington, that should be a good one. And then we'll see kind of what happens with the latter series in Rochester versus Chicago, which Rochester did make a roster move to improve their roster. They're in 11th, but they're taking on a juggernaut in the Chicago Jungle, who have won 3 major straight in Challenger, and they're only trying to improve that with their major number 2 win that is on the way in a couple of weeks if they play well enough. But we'll see kind of how their fortunes change in that later series. For now, though, while we get teams into the lobby, Fusion, you and I can go ahead and just make our predictions really quickly as to who we think is going to come away with this series. Minneapolis and St. Paul. Do I have a lick of clue as to who's going to win this? No. I don't have an idea. Couldn't tell you who it's going to be. If I had to take a guess. I again would lead towards St. Paul, but Minneapolis could very well come out and win it. I need to know Fusion. I need to know who your selection is because I'm not ready for mine.
Well, it is very hard to pick against the previous season's premier champion, Eli. Becoming GM, or was he GM last season?
He's GM last season. Yep.
Yeah, GMing last season, putting himself in Challenger this season, and overall having a pretty solid start to the season. Obviously made some moves, picking up Busy, and Seer. But I would really like to see how Seer performs up in Challenger with two players a lot higher in MMR than him. But I still want to see the Minneapolis in 4 games.
You still got Minneapolis in 4. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it's a fair pick for sure. Yeah, I don't know. If I had to pick, I think I might lean towards the side of Minneapolis too. I don't know what it is about them, but I feel like they kind of have the not upset potential, but they kind of have the chance to possibly win. But I think I'm gonna lean towards Minneapolis as well. I don't know what's swaying me in that side, but yeah, I just it's where I'm leaning towards is who I think is just gonna win. I believe me, I will say the hardest thing to do in the world is talk and answer a message at the same exact time. Oh my dear God. Stop DMing me! Message anybody else. You see me on your goddamn screen talking at the same time. For Christ's sake, I'm gonna crash the f*** out. God damn. It's insane. It's actually insane. I don't know. I'm losing it. We already knew this, but I think everybody's in. Yeah, it looks like everybody's in. I'm ready to just kick this off. Yeah. It's cooked, chat. It's cooked. That's what I'll say. I don't know how else to say it. So.
I mean, if you need to answer, if you absolutely need to answer, I can take over for a bit.
I'm good. I already answered it. I was answering it while I was crashing out, so it worked out just absolutely great. But yeah, take a break from the World Cup and enjoy some actual gameplay here as we get into game number 1 in this series. Best of 5s. Best of 7s will come soon enough, but Minneapolis taking on St. Paul in week number 6. Minneapolis has some points to make up. They need 10. They aren't going to get 10 here, Fusion, but they need 10 to ring the dinner bell a little bit closer. Oh my God! You just did. What kind of a question is that? What do I think of the socioeconomics of Chad? I don't know. All I know is anybody can cook. That's what I'll say. Oh dear God, help us all.
Busy taking it off the ceiling, getting an open net. I personally think the socioeconomic conditions of Chad is pretty poor right now. I think they're suffering through a revolution, if I'm not mistaken. As Seer gets a 50 towards the middle, is able to follow up. Eli trying to 50 it over Barry, but Barry gets a hard beat. 40 looking for the 50 into the net. No, Seer out to the corner, and Spalty trying to air dribble it over Eli, but Eli catching him out, putting a pot shot on net. Only over to Busy, who 50s two. Net's open at the moment, gets the bump, but 40 is able to pre-flip back, but then loses the 50 to Busy. Busy doubling the lead. Wow. Okay. I guess Busy got the pre-flip, turned around, got the 50, doing it all himself. Minneapolis starting out very hot right now. All the offense going to them.
And we picked them to win. It's part of the reason why we decided to pick them to win. And I think we're feeling pretty pretty good about this right now. This is 3-0 in favor of the Miracles in a minute and 4 seconds. I mean, wow, St. Paul, do you need a pill to wake up? Goodness gracious. It is a morning coffee hour at this point for these guys. It's 6 o'clock though at night, so we're we're almost to the end of the day, Fusion. We're into the evening hours, and St. Paul no closer to stepping up here and scoring a goal. Barry gonna hit that one forward, but right to Eli, who catches Spalti. Good first touch forward. Looks to just bear down on this Miracles defense, who have not been tested so far, as all is funneled essentially towards the St. Paul net, but they're able to deal with it. Spalti on the outlet, shut down by Sear. Sear with a good first challenge and another second challenge. Just looks to create some contact and hack the ball to the side. And it's exactly what he does. Doesn't need a great touch, and is going to grab his corner and steal that away from Spalti. Again, just St. Paul having to reset, and it's almost like they were roughed up in the first minute now, and Fusion, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to score a goal anymore.
Yeah, it's snooze o'clock for the St. Paul team. But right now, I feel like Minneapolis let off the gas just very slightly, kind of playing more for securing their lead, or just keeping their lead instead of just adding more and more, which is fair if you're up by 3 goals, right? As they look for a bump, Sear, open net. I mean, what is happening? I think there's just a miss from the second man here. Yeah, Spalti just 0 boost, unable to make contact, and 40 wasn't able to react in time and gets bumped out of the way. So Sear with the open net. And right now it's all Minneapolis. One shot to St. Paul was at 7 for Minneapolis, converting over half of them. It is just, they're whifty. Barry just able to get around, gets a pinch towards the mid, but no one's able to follow up. 40 should be able to control this. What does he have? 50'd by the first man. Eli gets a double out this year, and it's just beautiful.
I mean, they're absolutely touring with them at the moment. Eli with a good first touch, gets the second. Sear just beats the player on the ball. Spalti can't get there, and I mean, I've seen this movie 1,800 times. A team loses game 1 and gets absolutely, destroyed. There's some momentum. Spalti gets one back. Just muscles off the kickoff and gets some help from Barry. Wins the challenge. Eli just, ooh, that touch. Yeah, the toilet bowl
really
is swirling the wrong way. It's a good read, it's a good demo, but yeah, 5-1. Like I said, I've seen this movie 100 times, Fusion. A team loses game 1, they get blown out, and then they win games 2, 3, and 4 and take the series. Maybe they're able to do that, but showing a little bit of life here now. 40 trying to bear down and give Minneapolis a taste of their own medicine, but unable to get that one to go. Eli just punts it down the field, and again, St. Paul have to think about it as they're able to reverse the field a little bit here, get some shots and a chance, but again, turn to the side. And a minute and 30, minute and some change. Like, game's basically over if Minneapolis scores again, but I mean, this is a good effort by St. Paul to keep this one, to give themselves a chance, I guess. Oh boy.
Definitely. And I mean, to the credit of St. Paul, or I guess discredit of Minneapolis, not all of the goals from Minneapolis have been earned. It has been a lot of just missed touches coming out from this St. Paul squad as it pinches on net. That would have been beautiful to see. But as I was saying, a lot of these goals coming out for the Minneapolis have not been earned. They haven't really outplayed the St. Paul team. There's just been a missed touch, a bump, an open net. The one play that was a sheer outplay was Eli's plan B off of Barry, I believe, to leave the net open for Sear, which was beautiful, but definitely was not planned out of Minneapolis. So if you're St. Paul, you're going into the next game thinking that, hey, we can easily win this series. The mistakes were on us. Minneapolis hasn't done anything crazy that we can't play around. We just need to clean up our touches, and whether we win or lose, it's on us, you know. As Minneapolis confirms game 1, 5-1. Sear getting MVP, maybe not what you would expect to see with teammates like Busy and Eli, but it is great to see if you're a Minneapolis fan.
I mean, yeah, the kind of new guy on the block, you know, the new blood that you brought in that was hoping last week to make his challenger debut. Did he make it? You and I were you and I here for that? I don't remember.
I was not here Friday.
You were busy, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I was hoping.
My
I'm pretty sure it was
DC.
just me. Yeah. It was hoping to make his challenger debut. Didn't get the opportunity. Now is showing why, you know, maybe it was a good pickup. Maybe it was a good decision. But I'll see kind of how things go here. But looking at this replay and looking at how this game shaped out, all Minneapolis there. I mean, up 5-1 here. They give up one here. You can just chalk this one up to just goofiness, I guess you could say. Eli just didn't get the touch he wanted, didn't make the play that he wanted to do. But we'll see how St. Paul respond to kind of getting exposed here in this first game. Can they step it up here in game number 2? As Minneapolis has the first one on the board. Barry right off the kickoff. Just looking to put some pressure. Again, apply some pressure. You know, maybe sprint at this Minneapolis team and make them think about it a little bit more, because so far it's been St. Paul. Every single play that they've had to make, it's been this: we don't know who's going for the ball, we got to talk about it, we got to think about it, and then by that time you're basically out of time. Your pocket has been picked. You're done. The challenge is not there anymore. There's already a Minneapolis player racing you to it and probably beating you to it. But we'll see kind of how St. Paul cycles their offense here in the start of this game. Just 45 seconds in. A demo on Busy will put some pressure on Sear, but so far Sear Fusion has impressed. He's been good for the Miracles to start this series.
Yeah, definitely. Sear has not made any bad touches that I've seen so far. Definitely none that have been capitalized, as maybe an errant challenge goes out, but Busy able to get the goal line save as the center goes out, but 40 unable to make contact. He needed to at least put it on net. It was a free look if he could get around the 2 jumping defenders. It just goes wide, and it's the story of St. Paul so far this series, where they look like they're promising, but it's just they can't put together a passing play. They can't put together just several 50s in a row, creating an advantage in the midfield. It just seems very disorganized, and the communication between these players seem to be going wrong. And 40 trying to get by 2. He gets it by the first one, but the second Minneapolis player just immediately able to counter them. But I mean, the St. Paul team has kept all the pressure so far this game too. I don't think the ball has left the Minneapolis half this game yet, as the pressure is just continuing. 40 unable to take a shot there, maybe trying to take control, trying to get by 2, but Busy with 0 boost. Is he able to make a play? Looks for a bump, giving Sarah a lot of time on this ball. Flicks it over the first one, but Spalty there looking for Barry, who puts it in. Finally, after minutes of pressure, St. Paul gets their first lead of the series.
Yeah, I mean, Minneapolis kind of had turned the light to red. They weren't going to let anything past them, and then all of a sudden, St. Paul found a way to get through. And maybe that's all you need. Maybe it's one goal. But as we saw in the first game, the light is green when Minneapolis is on offense. So we'll see kind of what they're able to do here to tie this game up. But so far, haven't had control of the ball very much. Have been forced to pack their bags and play some defense in their own half, as St. Paul basically spent half of the game in this orange side. A little bit of chances, or a little bit of pressure here applied by a Busy. Gets his team down the field and sets up a possession play. This is what St. Paul has been missing and or lacking, is what Eli just did. A beat on the ball and a beat against multiple players. It just feels like St. Paul, when they get the ball, they have to work through a set defense every time. And it's going to be very, very hard to score when you have the ball and you're essentially out in no man's land, because nobody from Minneapolis is willing to throw their challenge away. They're smart with their challenge. You can just tell.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And the solo play potential coming out of Busy and Eli, maybe not so much out of Seer, is really helping this Minneapolis team from breaking out of their own zone now. And you can see constant beats on 2, but there's no real follow-up coming from Minneapolis. Maybe not trusting the beats, as this is going to ricochet off the backboard. Eli saves the lob on net, saved it out to Busy, who gets the 50, but it's out to Spalte, who cuts it out. Just saved by Seer. Busy trying to take control up the wall. One guy jumps a bit too early, I would say. And again, around 2, can they put a shot on net? No. 40, big 50 out in the midfield. And Eli, another solo play, going into the corner, gets the double, but Spalte just waits on it, waits for it to go out mid, takes control, and breaks out of his own zone. It's that easy when you have solo plays not directly threatening net. All you have to do is just wait. Just wait. Oh! And Spalte with the double. Oh my. We weren't talking much about the St. Paul solo plays, but here's one right here on Seer's head top, giving them a 2-goal lead with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, great shot from Spalte. Just decides to change the gear for St. Paul and work for something different. We didn't talk much about their solo play potential because it hadn't been what they were attempting to do. They hadn't been very successful with it. As Barry just looks to kill time here, gets around 10 seconds, all but over. St. Paul with a response in the second game. This looks much more like a higher seeded team. Eli, though, looking for one. The death of things will not find it. St. Paul will take game number 2. And they found a way to kind of tighten the screw a little bit and to get some offense going. They shut Minneapolis out after 5 goals in the first game. Now looking at game number 2, it kind of is, much better game from them, I would say. A much more clean game, and only 190 points from 40. Seer having a decent series, but didn't crack triple digits. Always sucks to see Fusion, but we work with what we got. We'll see if we can crack triple digits in the next game, but I don't know. My thoughts on the series so far is that's a big step up game from St. Paul, but they still are having trouble getting past that back line that Minneapolis has set up. I mean, they got past it twice here, but it really just was from them loading up the parachute and just going as fast as they can, beating Minneapolis to the ball, not letting them out of their half.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, you don't need to score very many goals if you only allow the other team 2 shots and have all the pressure. And that's what St. Paul did last game. We'll see which way is repeatable as Seer slots the bottom left. And we'll see how St. Paul deals with a deficit. I feel like they're going to play that suffocating game style, but Minneapolis won't have to push out and confront them as much. They can just wait and wait and wait until there's a counter. I think that's how Minneapolis kind of wants to play with their solo play capabilities, as that's a bit errant. Barry's shot deflected by Seer, but 40 gets back in time, looking for the double. Unable to make it, but Barry there to save him. Gets the double, trying to follow up. It's a very little boost. Might go for a bump, but Eli taking a solo play. Looking up. Looking for a pass mid. Blocked out. And now it's an open net for Barry. Can he get there in time? Yes, he can. And it's a tie game.
I mean, they just dig the ball out of the corner. That's really what ended up happening. Minneapolis worked all the way up into the corner, navigated the whole field, and then were just completely stopped on the front post and the ball worked by two defenders, two players from the Miracles, and nobody got a touch. And what ended up happening is a pass down the field, and Barry's just there. As Spalty will collect this on his back line, does lose that challenge right to Busy, lining up a second touch. Forwardy, though, meets him at the summit. Gets there just in the nick of time. Barry collects the corner boost, digs the ball out of the corner, and works his way down the field. And that's one thing that St. Paul have done better in the latter half of these games is they have started to navigate the entire field and have started to get beats on the ball. They weren't doing a very good job of it at all in the first game. It felt like...
Oh, that's over.
Oh, boy. Oh, it's a big miss from Busy. Busy open net will make the lead. He'll get the lead right back, but Eli actually stole it. Mean. But, yeah, St. Paul have done a better job of getting beats on the ball and just taking the ball down the field, using the entire field to their advantage, rather than trying to sit there and solo play the ball around every single defender. But use the field to your advantage. I mean, use the width to your advantage. It's there for a reason. And we'll see kind of how St. Paul does that here to tie us up. They've given up 2 goals here to the Miracles, who didn't score any in the last game, so you automatically think it's a better game from Minneapolis. Sear looking for the third. Off the backboard, he passes it for Busy. Where's Eli to clean it up? Doesn't want to commit. Doesn't have really anything in the tank. A solid 10 boost to work with as he'll dip out and leave it for his teammates. Ball's dislodged from that challenge. Spalty kind of just has to work his way around and follow the sidewall to the promised land, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that with the amount of boost that he had. Busy lining up a double. Barry is there to meet it. Good positioning from St. Paul to dig the ball out of their half. But again, under some pressure now from Minneapolis, who are starting to set up shop here with the 1-goal lead. Fusion, they don't need any more. Oh, what a pass. Woo!
And I mean, the perils of St. Paul game 1 are coming out here again in game 3, just making costly mistakes in the midfield, just sheer missed touches or just missing the ball completely, leaving the net open. And they didn't score on all of them, but they've scored on 2 of them so far this game. Just, they need to clean up their third man touches, and they're playing like the better team, you know? Mm-hmm. As long as they clean up the third man gets a touch. Doesn't have to be a particularly good one, just has to be a touch away from pressure. Yeah, anything. Just, I truly feel like St. Paul has this series if they can clean it up as another wifty in the midfield. But that one's more understandable from the St. Paul side as 40 takes possession and boost, trying to get out mid to Spalty, who looks for a flip reset. I don't think he gets it. And the disruption coming out of the Minneapolis, it seems to be their game plan, is to just follow through whenever you're past the ball, looking for bumps, as you can see right there with Eli getting the bump and then immediately retreating back. Busy up, looking for a beat. 40 should be able to get there, and it's a double miss, but it's off the post. And salvation comes for St. Paul. That crossbar saving their life, but for how long? Their crossbar again, but Busy, fortunate bounce, able to double the lead, and just complete and utter devastation for the St. Paul defense once again.
As 46 seconds to go. They need a little bit of magic here if they're going to win this game, but yeah, defense not great. Yeah, that's not going to show up. 43 seconds now. It comes right off the kickoff. Minneapolis extends the lead to 3. Whoever the cheating player was, I think it was Spalty, went right by the defender and the ball. Was looking just for a hard cheat to get something and didn't end up giving it at all. But we'll see what ends up happening here. Up the sidewall went Barry, leaves it for 40. Okay. That was in 7 seconds, just down to 2 again. As Barry just kind of, gets around the defender, leaves this. I think 40 actually just pinged it off of his car, but it works. You know, they're on the same page, I believe. But yeah, they kind of just charged down the defense, and Minneapolis cannot handle it. Off the kickoff again. some more fun. Possibly Busy gets a good first touch, cannot follow into the net, but will be denied again. St. Paul trying to put up a wall. maybe set up a seal, but they don't need a seal at the moment. They need to bust Minneapolis' seal 2 more times. See if they can get it done into this corner. It's a little awkward for Busy. Spalti, oh, it bounces and pings off of everything imaginable, but it's not going to go in the net. Very pre-flip. It's going to go all the way across, but yeah, that's a rough one for sure. St. Paul gave it their best look, but they aren't able to get it done. 1 game away or Minneapolis from winning the set.
Yeah, I mean, St. Paul trying to make it interesting at the end. I guess Miracles too with that mess up on the goal line, but the ball unable to find the back of the net, and it keeps a 2-goal lead for the Minneapolis, who once again just kind of score off the mistakes of St. Paul. They're not doing anything special on offense. They are just capitalizing on St. Paul's mistakes. And I mean, it's gotten them 2 games so far, but I'm not sure if it's entirely repeatable for this Minneapolis team, who, if you look on the scoreline, are very even in score. 480 for the top, 414 for the bottom, but 7 shots coming out of Busy, while only the other 2 totaling for 2. Yeah. But again, it's just been the story of St. Paul's blunders on defense. We'll see if that changes in game 4. We saw in game 2 that when they don't make mistakes, they play a very suffocating type of game style that is very hard for the other team to break out of and score. So if they can continue doing that, it will be very, very good, and they can still win this series if they just clean up the defense. Oh my, Busy! It's so close to the double off the flip reset, as it sends the St. Paul defense scrambling. And right now, it seems all Minneapolis so far.
It's about as close as you can get to without actually scoring a goal. Pass in field is blocked by Spalti. Both Vorty and Barry commit to this. Spalti's just going to wait on the corner boost before he decides to accelerate up the field, but will get removed from the pitch. A lot of time for Eli, but all over it is 40. Good first touch looking infield. Busy does backflip. It is a little awkward now, but almost had that double, and if the net was just a half a foot taller, he would have scored, but I mean, about as close as you can get without scoring. An unfortunate crossbar bounce. St. Paul will be thanking that crossbar for not letting that goal in. Whispering to it, more than likely. That's a good pass midfield from Spalti to Barry, but Barry just doesn't have anything to work with. No boost to follow up. He gets some help from 40, but again, no time to work with, no dice just yet. It's a good stop again. And Minneapolis, like you talked about, more than happy to sit on their back line and play kind of this defensive hold that they have. They have clamped down on St. Paul's offense. After that second game, I really thought St. Paul might just start running away with it with how they played. They played very, very well. It's about as good as they can play their style. If they're going to look back on this series, that is the game. This is the absolute game where if you can replicate that more than once in a series, you're gonna have a really good chance to win. But these inconsistencies are absolutely killing them, especially as third man on the back line, where they have gotten a number of times, like you're talking about, exposed almost on challenges, on misses. But we'll see what they can do here. Game halfway done. Nobody finding the net just yet. Spalti off the field looking for almost a pass made. Barry's there. It's gonna ping pong between every single Minneapolis player possible. All 3 of them make contact on it. That should have been a goal for St. Paul. It was a giveaway from Busy right to Spalti, but he didn't have the angle set up. And man, Minneapolis are doing their best job to give St. Paul a goal, and the bounce just will not work out for them. Sear midfield gets the reset, and just looks to work up the field with this Minneapolis attack that has, I mean, when they've had their chances, they've been pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, a bit of miscommunication coming out from Minneapolis on that attacking play or counterattack. As Sear looks to try to get a beat, but he's just hard beat. And St. Paul, while still tied, are playing that suffocating type of gameplay that they love to play, just holding it in the other team's zone. I think that favors St. Paul for this game. But I mean, one goal from Minneapolis can just put this series to rest. As a pass out this year, but he has 0 boost, tries to get it by 1. Weird 50 goes out to Spalty, very little boost, gets it by 1. What's he able to do with it? Tries to get it by Busy, but Busy able to pick up the boost and ball, able to take it up the wall. Free solo play, looks out, double to Eli, but Eli not able to put a shot on. As Busy tries to 50 it out to Eli again. So you're kind of holding this back line at the moment. Is it his time to shine right now? Looking for the solo play, looking for the 50 around almost all of them. Barry able to dive and get the save to the corner. Here, awkward jump, able to get the flip and the 50, but Barry able to stay on to the backboard, open net. Spalty gives them a lead with 30 seconds left to go.
This is a gritty goal. And yeah, double commit from Minneapolis. Nobody makes contact. Spalty's the only one who had it. Ends up getting it to go in. As at 34 seconds to go, just St. Paul with the lead. Minneapolis, though, off the kickoff. Eli with a flip. Decides to fake it. Just looking for the bump. Spalty, though, has the help. Busy off the backboard. Is anyone home? It is him and Sear. They get the angle. But again, the pass midfield has to go to Eli. Sear is there to keep the possession going, but with only 13 seconds left, it's going to run out here if Busy doesn't win the challenge. He kind of does to Sear. Sear back to Busy. The pass is there. The shot is denied by Barry. The ball again careens midfield, but Spalty is going to have this one away and should have the game win if he can pass it midfield. Busy, though, kind of wins the bounce and does not get it up the sidewall, though. It only takes 1 goal, and Game 5 has been forced.
Barry, several crucial saves that game. Definitely the MVP of that game. I can remember 3 off the top of my head that were very, very close to going in. If it weren't for him diving across net, they would be out of this series right now. But instead, getting sent to Game 5. And I'd want to point out, someone I want to see do a lot more. We haven't really said his name so far, but 40 has been very silent this series. I want to see him show why he is also a premier champion in this Game 5. We haven't said his name a lot, but I think he has the potential to do what is necessary to get St. Paul over the line. As Busy looks to put a shot on, saved by 40, who looks to follow up, gets it around almost everyone. Eli able to get a touch, maybe able to follow up, but Barry's there first. Hits it around, but Sear able to cut it off his last man as the center goes out. But Sear once again able to clear it for the time being. Busy has to flip across his goal and the 50 out. That is the pressure broken for St. Paul.
And you know, there, like you were talking about, there's, if you're not going to show up for the entire series, you can show up for one game, the most important game in Game 5. So we'll see if that's able to happen for 40 as he gets a beat on the ball, gets some help from Spalty. The ball careens midfield, but Barry not expecting that much of a bounce. And why would you? As there was a big 50-50 win for Minneapolis here. They puts a lot of pressure on Barry on his rotation back. Sear, good comms from him and Busy to know to leave that for Busy. But again, another good challenge from St. Paul. They're doing a good job now of just cutting out the plays that Minneapolis is trying to make. You know, enough with the BS. This is the pass midfield for Spalty. Was an open chance, but again, a little too much sauce from St. Paul. Good pre-jump from Spalty to shut down the passing lane. And St. Paul, I mean, if you can just do that, you basically shut out 70% of what Minneapolis is trying to do. Running interference is Spalty. Trying to get a shot is Barry. The demo comes out, and more than likely a reset of the play midfield for a second. is what I thought. But again, Minneapolis having to play some defense. And so far, they're up to the task.
So far, that's the key word.
Exactly.
How long can they keep this up? As they look for some offense of their own, Eli with a flip reset double sends it wayward, but only to Seer, who has 0 boost, unable to follow this, and Barry able to control it out of his own zone. Busy, not the best touch. Out to Spalty, open net for the time being, but Seer able to race back, send it to the corner where several 50s lead to Busy's solo play.
Oh!
Not much open net once again, but Seer able to track back as several 50s happen in the corner. It once again goes out to a Minneapolis solo play, but for how long? All 3 players of this St. Paul team are back. Where are we going to see? Are we going to see the pressure, or are we going to see a mistake come out of either of these teams? As Spalty looks for a solo play. I like looking for solo plays game 5 because the other team is very stressed. They want to just force you to do something, right? And the more you pressure their net, the more they're going to panic. And very close, tight games like this, where one goal can be the difference between a win and a loss, as 40 takes possession, but there's 2 people on the ball. 50 is only to Barry, who's able to put a shot on net, but Busy able to save, not able to follow though, as 40 tries to throw it out mid, but Eli out there to counter. Barry last back. It's been the bane all this time for this St. Paul team. They're clears as Spalty's finally able to clear it, and it is getting so tense right now. You can see the pressure, missed touch. Oh my god, this shot is wayward. Oh, a bit of tomfoolery coming out.
Another one.
Oh my goodness. People jumping way too early. Oh my goodness.
Off the backboard. Oh boy. Oh, that's a clean chance. A clean opportunity, but yeah, like you said, it is. I mean, nerves are at an all-time high at the moment. A good read from Barry to keep the ball to the side, but anything's possible. Oh man, another ceiling shot. I mean, how many testing shots are we gonna have before we actually see a goal on some of these plays? Like you were saying, you know, sometimes you just have to solo play to draw the defense out, so there isn't 3 set defenders. Oh, this is a good bounce, but again, shut down by another defender on either side. I mean, this is just end to end. Only 20 seconds left, Fusion, and we have it in the orange side, but do I have any faith that this St. Paul team can get a goal? Maybe. Here's a shot from 40. Eli with a clear. That's a little sketchy, though. Seer does fake it out, but Barry reads it in time. That's going to go off the sidewall. That bounce is not good. And I thought it wasn't good for a second, but it dropped. But yeah, game 5 overtime.
Nerves at an all-time high. I've never seen more double commits in my life, but it's still 0-0. Neither team willing to send the house, but someone is going to have to score. And the way it's looking right now, it's going to be off of some terrible, terrible mistake.
100%.
From the third man. As Eli left last back, just looks to pinch it away. Smart play by that man right there. Oh my goodness. As Busy looks to take into the corner, looks for a demo, but very little boost downfield. As a lot of demos come out, and Seer able to put it in for the game 5 OT. Minneapolis just able to skirt by with just a very tough fought win.
I mean, yeah, that's about as close as you can make it. They're able to get it done, though. As, yeah, an unfortunate bounce off of that corner. And, yeah, St. Paul are going to be kicking themselves because they wish they would have won that. But Minneapolis takes the set in 5, and we predicted them to win. But, yeah, this bounce, Perry just didn't get there in time, and 40 was not back in time. And, yeah, GG's all the way around. But, I don't know. I don't know what could have changed differently, but I think there could have been a couple more goals scored by St. Paul in that latter game. Not for sure, but I mean, about as scrappy of a fifth game as you could possibly imagine. There was no strategy when it comes to who we thought was going to win. We were just hoping that the goal was not horrible, but it wasn't great. It was quite scuffed indeed, but that whole game 5 was scuffed. And yeah, it results in St. Paul taking the first series 3-2, and they are the first winners of the night. We predicted them to win, and they lived up to that prediction, coming out in game 1 and just absolutely running over St. Paul. This game 1 was not close, and Busy's goal explosion really sells it all. Anyone can cook, and that's essentially what this first game was. He scored the first 2, and then his teammates rode that momentum and did everything since then. Sear had a great debut, scoring the game winner, obviously, in game 5. But, I mean, yeah, just Busy on the offense, cleaning up all of the defenders for St. Paul. And I really did think after this first game, St. Paul played their best game in game 2, but you can't have one best game. You need 2 or 3 best games in order to win a series, and that's just really what it came down to. Is Minneapolis had 3 of their best games out of the 5 in the set, and St. Paul had one really good one, and I would say 1 decent one in the 4th game. But yeah, the Spalti double was very nice, but this 3rd game is gonna haunt St. Paul for sure, because they I mean, very, very scrappy. But I think if they were able to take this game, they probably win the series.
Yeah, definitely. Just with the confidence boost and the momentum of winning the next 2, they definitely win that game 4 still. Probably by even more goals than just the 1-0. But something I would like to highlight that we didn't really highlight with the Minneapolis team was their disruption plays. They always had a player downfield looking for bumps. They always followed through the ball with demos onto the second man, not really allowing that St. Paul team to have a good chance on net because there's just no one there. They could hold the zone very well. They wouldn't chase out to the midfield. They wouldn't chase the third man, but they would always chase the follow-up guy. And that would not allow the St. Paul team to get a really good chance on net. And really well played to them. Really hard-fought victory. I'm sure they're very happy with how they played. Maybe not happy with our casting, with us constantly saying it was all St. Paul's fault. It was all their fault that they were scoring. But I'm sure they were happy. And I'm looking forward to seeing this team play more.
Yeah, Minneapolis, the winner of the first series. Sear gets his debut win and decides that, decides that they wanted to win their opening series. So we'll see what happens. But coming up next, Green Bay and Fargo. I hate to tell you, Fusion, but this one we might be waiting on a little bit. So we'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. Yeah, you can watch your World Cup match for now. But yeah, Green Bay and Fargo hopefully going to be playing in the next one. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, till then, hang out, watch the World Cup, just watch Rocket League, watch soccer is what I have to say. But stick around.
see 'em. I think it's safe to see 'em. I think it's safe to see 'em. Go on, myself. I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools. Serpents, daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. Gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Kinda cold-blooded, selfish. Your words are painless. I like when I drive and feel so dangerous. They say I'm a red flag 'cause they want it so bad. You should know I'm holding on to what I had. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon.
I lift my feet off the ground, let gravity take me up. As beautiful as it's been, it's time for me to go. I wanna sail away, I wanna feel the weightlessness of my soul. I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I will run all the way to see you. I've gotta go all the way through time and space to find my voice, to see you. And I'll go. wanna sail away. I wanna feel the weightlessness of my soul. I've gotta go all the way to eternity. I will run all the way to see you. I've gotta go all the way through time and space to find my vote, to see you, and I'll go.
Hello once again. Sadly, we had to forfeit our second match on stream today, but we're starting the third stream pretty early. We have the Brainerd Victory versus the Bloomington Maulers, and I am here today with Sauce Boss. How are you doing, Sauce Boss?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic myself. I am ready to watch the U.S. national team lose to Paraguay. That will be awesome. But yeah,
That'd be
right
pretty hype.
before you get to see me cry live on stream, we have the Bloomington Maulers versus the Brainerd Victory. I used to be on the Bloomington Maulers myself until I got traded to Chicago after Major 1. I know all of these players very well. I believe it is Garrett, Flash, and Wob. Not Wubik, Wob. Sneaky? Oh, yeah, I think Wob got dropped, huh? Yeah, unlucky for him. But anyways, I know Garrett. Garrett is definitely one of the best challenger players in the league right now. Clash, always super just disruptive with his gameplay. And Sneaky, truthfully, I've never seen him play, but I'm sure he's goated. I will be predicting the Bloomington Maulers to win, probably in 4. They might win in 3. But Garrett is such a good player. I love playing with him, and he's definitely a premier level player. What do you think, Sauce Boss?
Well, considering I don't really know these players that well, I'm a big old Rising Star player, but I kind of know Clash DA, but I really know Mythic and Fishy a little bit. I honestly say Brainerd could probably take this. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. Most of the games I cast are always like really close. So I think I'm going to roll with Brainerd in 4 here.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good prediction, as a bit of tomfoolery comes out in the middle of the... Oh my goodness! My dog's just like almost knocked over my monitor. Okay. T-Jack up the wall, takes it, trying to center it mid. I need to resort something. Okay, Garrett looking for the shot, just wide off the post, bounces up. Mythic should have the touch, not that best of a touch, but Fishy able to clear it. Only out to T-Jack though. And Fishy, who used to be my former teammate long ago. We won a premier championship and back in ye olden days. He's very good. I don't know what he's doing down in Challenger, but I want to see him perform, as he reads the double off the backboard very well. And right now it's just kind of looking very just disorganized right now, coming from the Brainerd Victory team right now, as not a lot of offense are coming.
Yeah, not a lot of people have really taken much of an initiative here. It's mainly been a Bloomington offense so far, not really giving Brainerd much of a chance to really build any offense at all. But also, we haven't really seen a hard touch out of Bloomington with some purpose. Everything's been kind of floating around, not really putting much power onto it, so we haven't been able to see any hard shots come in, and the boost totals for Brainerd have also been extremely low, that they can't really do a whole with it. And same with Bloomington, they usually just don't have enough to really finish it off, and they're playing a little tight in rotations too, so it's kind of counteracting themselves right here. Maybe they'll be able to work it around, build some offenses. That one also goes wide. I think that might have been the 4th one going off the crossbar, or the post rather, and they just do not want Brainerd to have any possession whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. Not a lot of shots coming out from either team, as Sneaky goes missing. Maybe a fake for Clash, who's trying to pass it out to Garrett, but not much resources to work with. Just tries to hit backboard, waiting for a mistake, which does not come. And a very boring game so far, I will say. Not a lot of shots, not a lot of chances. As Mythic is coming out, to try and hit it clear.
Yeah, this one's a little, I don't know, there's just not really much purpose. They're just kind of trying to hit side to side. I mean, that's the first one that's got some movement on it, and Garrett P's finally going to have to work it, but off the double tap, he's going to be able to score this one out.
Yeah, Garrett, great double, hits it off the backboard. I believe last season he was 2K and 2s, or at least hit 2K and 2s. I went undrafted into Premier, and found his way as the second overall pick in Challenger, and showing why he is so well known in the Challenger scene. Just hitting the double, looking for another double as he slots that top right. 2-0 lead for the Bloomington Maulers, and right now Brainerd does not seem to have an answer for this.
Yeah, they really don't. Just kind of giving up a little bit too much space to Bloomington. That's kind of why they've had so much offense. They're just not challenging quick enough, and they're also really struggling for boost and not maintaining possession or rotating wide enough to really make use of the boost when they do get it. It's just been kind of go for it, and then they just don't have anything to follow it up as Garrett P gets one all the way from downtown on the complete opposite side of the map. Just, again, Fishy just out of boost, jumps a little too early, and it's just over from there.
Yeah, definitely. You want to see a better effort coming out from Fishy, but it's not a lot of boost. Maybe a flip back and then jumping up early would have helped, as Garrett looks to get his fourth, saved out by Fishy, but just no offense coming out from this Brainerd team. You can see why this Bloomington team is so high up in the standings right now. Just very suffocating, not giving Brainerd any chances to even get out of their own half, let alone any chances on net, as Fishy gets another save, but down by 3, they need some offense right here as Clash looks to back pass it. Fishy finally able to find a pass out to T-Jack. What are they cooking up right now? T-Jack looking for the 50, but Clash out there to save it. Out to Garrett P. One-on-one with Fishy. 50's out, but Garrett countered by T-Jack. Great save coming out from him, but right now, the story of this game has all just been Bloomington and Garrett with the offensive chances, passing out the sneaky, giving them a 4-goal lead.
Yeah, it's looking really rough for Brainerd. They're just double committing and throwing themselves at the ball, not picking up boost. They really need to find a way just to limit them in any capacity whatsoever, because they're not working the boost totals at all. Brainerd has no control. Bloomington has all the time they want, all the boost they want, and they're just really playing with them right now. And it took them a little while to figure it out, but now they're rolling. Here up 4-0.
As Clash and Garrett link up to add a 5th, and there is just nothing positive out of this Bloomington side. What do they need to change in order to stand a chance against this onslaught coming out from the Maulers?
The rotations get a lot wider. You're just bunching each other up on your rotations, and it's just making it really hard for any of them to pick up boost because they're worrying about the ball too much, and they're already down 6-0 now. It's just an onslaught. Like, they just gotta wipe this game at this point. I think we can do better. Just focus on those wider rotations. Look for the boost a little bit more over the ball. Not usually what you want to hear from someone analyzing your team, but sometimes getting that boost is absolutely necessary, especially when it comes to these higher tiers, and they're going to need boost a lot more.
Well, maybe some disruption plays can help out. Well, at the start of the game, we were talking about how boring this game was, and let it be known, there has been 7 goals answered in very quick succession as Brainerd gets a last-second goal to cut the lead down to 5, just like Chris. But maybe if they can grab some of the midfield pressure, they can get out of their own zone and create some chances themselves. They only had 2 shots to the Bloomington's 11. That's a problem. They need to create more for themselves, and that is in fact a problem. Yeah. But yeah, Brainerd needs to do a lot more on offense. They need to fight for the midfield. And I'm not sure if you can stop Garrett P's solo plays, but you can definitely slow him down. And try to just capitalize on the mistakes of the Bloomington Maulers in the midfield. That's how I would go about it. But these players are very good. I know Mythic and Fishy, they're very proactive in changing from game to game. I've teamed with both of them from time to time. They're very smart players. They definitely know the issues that they need to fix, and we'll see going to game 2 if they can rectify on it.
Yeah, we'll see if they can rectify it here. Just rotations, figure out how to work some speed in the rotations as well. You can't limit them. What is going on with this lobby? Our own producer has been kicked from his own lobby. This is unprecedented times here, but we're going to be casting to you guys like it's the radio. We're back in the 1930s here, and one already goes off the board. Brainerd from the top rope. T-Jack puts one down.
T-Jack with a big start to this game too. It's exactly what they needed. Sneaky, unable to get the goal line save, and Brainerd starting off well.
Yeah, Brainerd starting off well. I'm not sure how the stream is still running without the guy producing it in the lobby. Oh, he's in it? It doesn't pop up on my screen. No, it doesn't say you're in the lobby.
Oh, no,
yeah,
no,
we continue. Still at 1-0. Fishy trying to work it to the corner. Garrett P defending well. Mythic trying to get one over the middle. Sneaky using up every boost he's got. He's going to sneak into the middle. Clash Game makes a mistake. Fishy's going to get this one. Oh, off the crossbar. Mythic, he's not going to be able to put one down. All three players are up for Brainerd. T-Jack does get back in time. Working it back. Making an awkward touch off the wall to throw off Garrett P. Fishy back over the middle. Mythix has to beat the 2v1. T-Jack gets up over Sneaky. Looking back over the side, and Mythic's going to score this one.
That's a great find from T-Jack, showing why he deserves to be here. Passing it out, being selfless, giving up a good play for a better one, as I like to say. Finding Mythic for the easy tap in. Anything back post would have just been cleanly in. And Brainerd with a 2-0 lead right now, really just capitalizing on the small little momentum that they had at the end of last game, getting the last goal. As Garrett looks to 51 on, but it's just wide. Fishy low boost, getting bum chased by Sneaky, but Clash able to 50 him out. Looking for T-Jack, just trying to keep in the corner, trying to recoup on some of the resources that they lost. But Garrett looking to 50 it out towards the mid, towards Clash. T-Jack back again, but low boost coming out for all of the Brainerd team as they try to regroup, and it goes across the line, but they cannot find the finish. Sneaky looking for a 50 mid, but Brainerd recovered well from their defense last game, and showing that they can compete just as much, if not better, with this Bloomington team.
Yeah, Brainerd came out absolutely firing in this one. They're doing really well on rotations and boost control. Looks like Bloomington is having a lot of issues conserving what they've got. That one nearly goes in, just barely saved away by Sneaky at the last second. But again, low boost, 20 to go, and then he does get the full boost pack. Mythic's not going to be able to get it. Passed off to Garrett P, and that one's in, bringing this lead back to 1. They're back in it.
Yeah, Sneaky. I think that was in no matter what, but Garrett just confirming it. As they cut the lead down to 1. Flash looking for an early kickoff goal, but cut out easily. Mythic with a solo play up the wall. Looks for a pass mid. T-Jack unable to capitalize. I think it was open. As Bloomington clears it down. Sneaky gets it over 1, but bounces up favorably for Fishy, who looks to go off the ceiling, get it by 2. Garrett able to control it out. Full boost. What can he do with the ball? Mythic up early, capitalize early, but Sneaky out there trying to bang it back into the corner. Only to T-Jack, though, who looks to solo play, was a bit awkward on it, but still gets it out to Fishy, who only gets it as far as Garrett. Garrett open net with the demo on the last man. It is tied up.
Yeah, tied back up, and this is really just outskilling the entire Brainerd defense right there. Gets it around 2 with just a neat little air dribble there. Doesn't have to do too much, and he just sneaks it right in, carries it in. Back to a tie game, and Bloomington's finally found their stride again, but it's gone once more. Brainerd off the kickoff. Fishy's going to put them back up by 1.
What happened here? Sneaky just trying to force it back left, but misses the ball completely, and it's just an open net. Garrett with the let's lock in chant, or quick chat. And 2 minutes ago, their hard-fought deficit clawed back is just immediately given up, and they have to fight for another one. You know this Brainerd team will not give up their lead again so easily, as Sneaky looking to get by 1, only out the Clash, who gets it by 2. Mythic able to clear it. Garrett trying to throw it back mid, but Fishy is there with low boost, trying to get it off to Mickey, who is full, but is only able to get it out to Sneaky, who tries to pass it to Clash. Clash looking for the double. I've never seen that man go for a mech in his life. But who is he feeling like right now? This Bloomington team. Oh, my bad. This Bloomington team going for some audacious plays while down by 1. It is lovely to see if you're a Bloomington fan, as Garrett passes it out to Clash, who hits it up corner. Clash is feeling himself right now.
Yeah, really feeling themselves. Great pass, though, by Garrett P. Lines up Clash DA perfectly for that top left. Just snuck it right by the entire defense, really. Both the one defender that was really able to take advantage of it wasn't able to. But Fishy's got had a full tank of steam. Now he's on 0. Great pop. Does block off Mythic, though, and it's going to make it really awkward for him. But a great pass to T-Jack, and he's going to slot that one in. Goals are going off the board left and right now.
Great play from Bloomington, or great play from Brainerd, excuse me. Brainerd, Bloomington. So hard to control, but every time Bloomington gets a equalizer, Brainerd is immediately back, setting their lead once again. It is going bar for bar. Mythic looking to add another, but unable to capitalize on the open goal, as Bloomington looking to fight for their life right now in this game too. They are scraping together. They are scrambling on this defense right now, as it's a new look Brainerd team that is capitalized on their game 1 woes so well this game 2. Looking to take this game 2 away from Bloomington, but Garrett has answers, looks for a double with 20 seconds left and capitalizes. He's done this 3 times so far.
Garrett is absolutely a force to be reckoned with right now. Absolutely putting the entirety of Bloomington's offense on his back outside of 1 goal. All of them have belonged to him. He's been involved on all 4 goals, as a matter of fact. He's just doing everything he can to keep his team in the offense. But also, I think that Brainerd has just kind of hurt themselves just a little bit. What I've noticed, they've been kind of overcommitting just a little bit, willing to go for just kind of really everything, and it's kind of putting them in awkward positions, leaving that third man either in a 1v2 or leaving him completely pushed up, and it creates a really open opportunity for Bloomington to get a quick offensive rebound. They'll have to tighten up just a little bit, keep it out, or just play a little bit smart. You guys, they're in overtime right now. They don't want to have to do too much, because they haven't, whenever they score, they're not doing a crazy amount of offensive plays. They're just making simple touches, and that's what's creating the bulk of their offense.
Garrett looking to solo play once again, gets it around 2, but no one on Bloomington able to capitalize. Sneaky goes missing. Mythic was not ready for it. He could have probably put that in if he read the miss, but T-Jack able to keep the pressure on for now. Fishy open net, but Garrett's back. Maybe not as open as I thought it was initially, but Bloomington looking to fight for their life, and Brainerd, if they lose this game, you have to think they've lost the series. Garrett looking for a 4th double tap, unable to hit, too close to the crossbar. Clash looking to keep the pressure on into the corner. Sneaky able to follow up and steal 100 boost. leaving Garrett a lot of room to do solo plays. He loves to take it up into the air, but quickly bumped out. It's what you need to see if you're a Brainerd fan. A quick bump onto Garrett P. Unable to have his solo play started. But the pressure from Bloomington is still ramping up as a miss from T-Jack. 50. He's last man. T-Jack unable to get back, and Garrett slots the OT winner.
They're just playing a little bit too quick for themselves. They're kind of panicking on the back line. They're afraid that Bloomington's going to be there. Bloomington just waited for one mistake, pushed one guy out of the way, and it was the most open goal that Bloomington's had probably all game because Garrett, he's been just putting down double taps left and right. Just an outstanding way to play patient for Bloomington, wait for those open opportunities, and Garrett P almost putting down a Thowie here in game number 2.
Garrett, absolutely the star so far, and Brainerd did look a lot better this game too. If they keep this trend up, they'll keep this series competitive, but Brainerd just needs to clean up their defense. They've let up, what, 5 goals in both games? That's not what you want to see. They almost still won this game too, but I think that's more due to their offensive capabilities than their defense. Just playing up, yeah, sure, a couple of them were really good solo plays coming out of Garrett, but some of them were just whiffs on the goal line. And if you want to win in a league like Challenger, you need to stop whiffing on the goal line. Letting up these costly goals go in. Brainerd needs to pick it up.
Yeah, it's just playing a little more calmly. You don't have to worry about the ball so much as you really got to pay attention to where your teammates are at. And it looks like we've got disconnects, and we're probably going to have a lobby reset. Fishy's going to take advantage of the classic 1v0 here in 3v3 Rocket League. You don't see it very often here, folks.
Who has admin? Does Sui still have admin?
I believe everybody left the lobby.
Unlucky. But yeah, maybe the tactical timeout Brainerd needs to regroup and get their act together these last 3 games if they bring it all the way to 5. But right now, as it looks, Garrett is just looking more and more unstoppable. I'm not sure if they have the sheer firepower on this Brainerd team to be able to stop his solo plays.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they have enough firepower to prevent some of these plays, and it's really just playing a little more calmly, a little more in sync with each other. They've had 2 games go down now. They had some serious success there in game 2, but they just didn't have enough to keep up the pressure and keep anything going, and it's just really limiting themselves when they're lacking boosts. And it also looked like their management of the boost that they had wasn't very good. They were having a lot of issues trying to conserve, and they just ended up using up most of what they had in very short amount of times.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, the Brainerd team really needs to clean up their defense by picking up their back boosts and just keeping high boost amounts on defense, because when you get 0 boost on defense, you tend to get very awkward and challenge adverse, as I like to call it. Just unwilling to go for challenges, as Sneaky tries to get demo on the last guy, but Mythic able to not, like, just shrug it off and get the clear back to the Bloomington side as the shot gets controlled by Garrett, who gets a big 50 out to the corner. T-Jack able to take control, get over Sneaky, but that's not the man who you want to see take it up the wall. Garrett trying to get it over everyone. Mythic able to hit it back into this corner, but Garrett able to try center it. It's very high though. Fishy able to clear it, and everyone on Brainerd again, very low boost, but the demo comes out. who is able to capitalize? It is Clash who clears it out, and it's looking better from Brainerd, but how long will it last?
Yeah, how long will it last? That's the big question here. Who's gonna have? Oh, looks like we're gonna have a Rule 1 action here for Challenger, Mythic, and Clash DA coming together. Will they break it? Hopefully not. That would be absolutely tragic, but they might not have to. T-Jack is flailing on the back line, and Sneaky puts it off the crossbar. That one should have gone in.
Oh, I don't know how you missed that. All you have to do is drive it in as the Rule 1 gets broken. No, what is happening?
I believe they got bumped, no fault of their own.
No.
That's mad respect, but I think they really need to worry about boost. T-Jack is struggling to pick up any. Garrett P's got a full tank over top of Mythic, looking for a double. Clash DA's following in. Fishy barely able to get a touch, but now he's flailing at it as well. T-Jack, no boost, off the back wall, off the post, and Clash DA's finally gonna put that one in.
That ball must have hit the post and crossbar 13 times before it finally went in. Bloomington's not mad about it. They still scored, but holy, the Brainerd team was under a lot of stress on defense, and they just were not able to deal with it, cope with it. And their strength definitely comes from their offense, but they can't keep that offense for long before Bloomington breaks out with a solo play or a passing play downfield. This Bloomington looks more and more complete as a pass tries to go out mid. T-Jack able to capitalize, but 250 there. Sneaky able to follow it up right away and gets more and more 50s as the ball goes high once again. No one able to counter on this Brainerd team as the ball is just ricocheting in front of their net. It's only a matter of time before it goes in. Garrett once again, full boost, solo play, countered quickly. That's what you need to see if you're a Brainerd fan. Fishy goes missing. That's not what you want to see if you're a Brainerd fan.
Yeah, it's just looking really rough for Brainerd. They haven't been able to make anything work. They're really trying to rush all of their touches, and they're just flailing at everything they can. It's making it really difficult for them to conserve boost and be able to make use of it. And having boost just makes it a lot easier to steal it from your opponents too. You've got a lot more speed, momentum building, and they just kind of keep cutting themselves off, going to 0, and then using a ton to get back up to full speed. And it's just not really working for them right now. Great bump out of Mythic. T-Jack's going to have the open shot.
That's a great play coming out of Brainerd. Set up beautifully. Sneaky, maybe not the best touch, but tries to follow it up. Mythic reads it perfectly, gets the bump. T-Jack able to slot it into the open net. And just like that, it's all tied up once again.
All tied up. Defenses have started to finally show up here. Sneaky had the double tap, but no boost. Garrett P's got one set up. And what do you know? He scores it. Who could have guessed?
He's absolutely automatic with these double taps. Hits it over Fishy. Fishy looking for the bump on him, but unable to make connection with his car. And just an automatic free double tap for a guy like him. Garrett, the absolute star of this game, series so far, end game. But Fishy trying to keep Brainerd in it. Trying to get it mid, but no one's there. It took 2 people to get there, and the third man was not wanting to overcommit. And just like that, it's a 2-on-1 open net for Garrett, who doubles their lead.
Yeah, overcommits for Brainerd here have been absolutely brutal. They're just not able to read. That third man is just really having issues reading what the opponent is doing. Are they going to make a solo play? Are they going to make a pass play? And they're just absolutely struggling to be able to read that, and they're just not making the correct decision to be able to play a little more patient, and they've just been throwing themselves at it as Garrett P's just going to tack on yet another goal to fit up another hat trick. I believe he's got 3 in 3 games now.
Definitely. He's averaging like 700 points a game. Most goals scored, most most shots taken, most lives lost, most babies cried as Sneaky gets a kickoff goal to all but put this series to bed.
Yeah, I think we saw Brainerd's best hope when it was still a 1-1. It's over now, really. That was the dagger. 4 goals. Brainerd hasn't even scored 5. They would have to come back for a miracle with some kickoff goals here, and that's just really not going to happen. But we'll see if they can make any amount of stride, maybe to pick up what they need to do in either their Game 2 match, I'm not sure if they played it yet, or if they just need to rebound and try to get something going into next week. And right now, it's just there's going to be a lot to work on. Boost management, rotations, playing a little bit more calm, knowing that you have more time with the ball than you really think you do.
Yeah. And I think this is a new look Brainerd team, if I am not mistaken. So definitely does not have the chemistry part of the game, the communication part of the game under wraps yet, as the pre-jump trying to hit Sneaky cut out. That would have been just absolutely devastating. As the ball hits the ground, Bloomington with the sweep. And other than game 2, wasn't really all that close.
Yeah, not really that close at all. They were just going all out really whenever they wanted to, and they just had no answer, really. It was just one after the other, and there was nothing that Brainerd could really do, especially when they were having issues on the rotation. It just made really everything that tough.
Yeah, and we've said his name 1,000 times, but definitely star of the show, Garrett P. He had what? 12 goals, 5 double taps, something like that, something crazy. Yeah. And he played up several times in Premier, and he definitely is a Premier caliber player. And I believe he is permanently playing up on the Bloomington Premier team now with Tricky and Zath. That team, truthfully, I'm a bit worried about that team, personally speaking. Yeah. They're Stewie caliber yet, you know. No.
Not quite,
but yeah. But Clash was also playing extremely well this game, or this series, and Sneaky also had some incredible moments. I wanted to see more from Brainerd, truthfully. They played all right, but they just could not deal with the offensive pressure that Bloomington had. I truly think this was a non-ideal matchup for them, just based off of play styles.
Yeah, not really ideal at all, but I mean, they've got some stuff to look forward to. They've got a decent offense when they're linked up together. Once they find the boost, fix up the boost issues, I think they'll be a lot better, because that'll also fix up their rotations too. But with that, I think we still have, one more match between Rochester and Chicago. Is that right? Yeah, so that'll be a pretty good matchup. And anything left to cover for this match?
No, I think we're good. I think the last match is going to be a major challenger major final rematch. Granted, not all the same players, but am I correct or no? Yeah, so that's going to be an incredible matchup. I will not be here. I will be watching the World Cup, but you'll be entertained by Sauce Boss and the Stewie. I'm sure they'll have an incredible cast for you guys. But yeah, that's about it for me. We'll catch you guys after break.
save me. Please come and chase me. 'Cause I ran from everything I know. Even though I gave all of my love to you. Try so hard to keep this flame that grew between us, but my own past won't let me move. Under the pressure of the light, forcing myself to change so I depart. I
you better bust it out. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it out. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it out. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it out. Bust it, bust it. Quit running your mouth, you better bust it out. Tell me somebody how long he will be on my mind. He will be on my mind.
We gon' make you move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this just for one more high. So baby, let's orbit tonight. We gon' make you move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this just for one more. So baby, let's orbit tonight. Let me get funky.
Let's lose our mind.
Let me get funky. Let me get funky.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is a new week, new set of matches that we are almost through. And some teams are on the rise, some teams are not on the rise. And it'll be exciting to see this next series coming up. It should be a good one. I'm joined by Sauce. Sauce, last one was pretty good. It was okay. Give it a 7 out of 10, 20 out of 10 if you're the Bloomington Maulers. Obviously the performance that they put on, but my goodness, came to play and absolutely destroyed the Brainerd Victory. Now in this series, we get to see the Rochester Rhythm taking on the Chicago Jungle. Now, I wanted to find out if this was a rematch of Major Number 1 of that final, and I'm pretty sure, looking at the Challenger bracket, it was not. It was a quarterfinal series that happened between the Jungle and the Rhythm. Now, different Rhythm roster, but same Jungle roster, and Chicago took it 4-1. So Rochester looking for some revenge here. Looking at these standings, yeah, Rochester looking for some revenge. They're 11th on the board right now, and Chicago sitting at number 2. Major number 1. They're having a pretty damn good season so far.
Yeah, big switch up there between the teams, 2 and 11. I mean, it's a pretty big gap. I don't know Chicago's team very well, but I do know a couple people in Rochester, and they're very capable people. But also, if they're kind of, I don't know. 11th is really rough, but the switch up in the teams compared to the last couple weeks from Major 1, it could be a little bit different. I mean, they're still on the fringe of playoffs, and switching up the team could be really beneficial for them. So we'll have to see if those changes were absolutely necessary, which I believe it is if you're sitting a little bit far outside of that 8th place that everyone is desiring so much. But I mean, we're gonna have to see if they move forward, because Chicago rather has an absolute banger of a team this season right now after taking the first major.
No, for sure. And if your team is playing well this season, you think you're going to make land, highly encourage you to get a jersey bundle. You can get a jersey and a ticket for all 3 of your teammates at a discount price, and pick up a brand new jersey that we're just redesigned this season. Jersey sales close in 2 days. I highly recommend, if you are going to think about getting a jersey, I would do it ASAP Rocky. But yeah, if you're going to be there in person, you can also join us in River Falls on August 8th. Just under 2 months to go from that. But looking at this series, we have to make our predictions before we get into it. I have to know who you think is going to take it home. I'm going to be honest. I have to back a team that has shown success. Now, do I think Rochester has a chance? Yeah. But I have to go with the team that has shown success. Give me Chicago in 4. I think Rochester maybe take 1 game, but Chicago is the better team here, I believe.
You know, Rochester does have some things going for it. I mean, the switching up the roster, you never know. It could be a really nice addition to the team. A little bit of a switch up could go a long way. That's why I'm going Chicago in 3.
Okay, fair enough. I will give it to you. No, for sure. I was not expecting that. Going to be very, very honest, but
I mean,
for
Chicago's
sure, if you think you got it, you think they got it. I thought you might go against me on the desk, but I did think about picking Rochester, but Chicago's has to be the better team in this scenario. Game number 1 loading on in, and right off the kickoff, new addition, Flip 1010. The pickup from Rochester. They also grabbed Oibu in this trade window as well. Rochester and Power completely redoing their roster to see if they can start climbing up the ranks once again. You're never out of it. If you can place well in that major number 2, get a good standing from that, you can for sure win and get to land. You just need to hit that top 8 threshold. But Sauce, you obviously got to experience the last series was a beatdown by Bloomington. Hopefully this one is not as much of a beatdown. Maybe we get some pushback from either side.
Yeah, maybe some closer games, maybe a little bit of high octane action. Half these players do have the octane, but I mean I think it's going to be a lot closer than we saw in that last game. It was a lot of just really communication and rotation errors out of Brainerd, but I mean, two of these teams are looking really good. Chicago is the #2 team, just coming off of a Major 1 win. What can you really expect out of them except a solid squad? And then Rochester, I mean, they're coming off of a new team here. The same thing as we saw Brainerd in the last game, but maybe they have a little bit better duo or a better trio going on here, a little bit better teamwork, as we're already seeing it's a pretty close match right now, and the ball is moving with some purpose. It's moving pretty quickly. Passes, they're still working to try and get them over the middle, but they're definitely working the ball a lot better. Players are playing a little bit quicker and more accurately as well, and they're picking up boost. So right now it's pretty even. Both sides have both had some offensive potential, and Oibu's even having to make a quick save on the back line there before it drops over the net.
You kind of see how teams navigate the field, right? Like how they decide to move around each other as well as around the opponents. So far, even to the task on either side. A couple of misses come out from either side. Power, though, is going to be able to recover here. Has Duke breathing down his neck. Good challenge from Risser. Risser in their last series, absolutely phenomenal. 700 points per game. And they won in a sweep, so have not been tested in some time. But they haven't. They've had a really, really good season. One of the league leaders in win streaks over the past 2 seasons. And so Oibu looks for a shot, does hit it wide. Risser, though, will have the read, maybe up to Duke for a passing play that accelerates the ball down the field, but doesn't gain a shot for them. Oibu, though, is up to the task. Risser, a fake underneath him, does get around Power, but cannot get around Flip, who is last back and punts the ball midfield for Duke. Duke to Risser! Oh, bar down and out. I think that had to be a goal, and luckily it's still in the Rochester half for Chicago's sake, but yeah, if you're Risser, you're definitely going to want that one back.
Yeah, definitely going to want that one back here, and that crossbar ping and watching it go out after it was on target is the most devastating thing you'll have to see in a match on your own. But Risser's not going to have a chance here. Just doesn't get the flip off in time. A little bit too far away, and then now they're going to take possession of it, just trying to get it out. Risser's going to have to climb this one all the way back. Does get the pinch off the ceiling, but Oibu is back, and he's going to have a solo play. A little bit too heavy of a touch, too low, not enough boost. Going to fall back into the corner. Still not ready to let it go yet. Power's going to try and work it off the backboard. Risser there instead. Does get the flip out, and Oibu's going to have to try and wrangle this one in. Looking for the corner. Does get bumped off. That one's likely going to die there. Does flip it, get it underneath. Flip. Trying to get over to Power. Power get blocked. And now it's back into the corner, and kind of a little bit of a ping pong match going right now. No one can really quite get it in, and the ball moves pretty quickly from side to side before a team kind of takes a little bit of possession. Good touch from Power, good dunk. Oh, the miss from Duke! Oh, and he raises his hands off his controller, too. He's like, what in the world just happened? How does this one sneak through? Power, though, will take it. Yeah, backflip. And this matchup right now with the 1-0 advantage favors the Rhythm, because Chicago historically have been a team that kind of just open up the series similar to Bloomington, where they just don't give you room to breathe, and they take the lead right away and don't give it up. But advantage Rochester now, as Chicago got to play a little offense. Haven't struggled with it this season. Risser averaging almost 500 points a game. Double Duke lines it up. Good read from Flip, though. Oibu kind of on an outlet here is going to be able to kill some time for his team and get them boosted up to hold down the back line here with only 20 seconds. Flip with a good interception in the midfield. And Risser averaging over a goal at 1.2 goals per game. Somebody that needs to get on the scoreboard here. Maybe he can do it on the double. Flip again has the answer. As 3 seconds left, it all comes down to this midfield touch. Flip trying to just keep it in the possession of the Rhythm.
who try to open game number 1 with a win. It would be huge for their confidence if they can get it done. The ball's going to hit the ground, and Rochester, defying all odds, takes the first in opening game.
That was an incredibly tight game throughout the entire way. Could have gone anyone's way. Just Chicago not able to lock it down. Rochester defense is way too strong. And they're going to finally work their way through and sneak a win off of Chicago. Now the question is, can they do it with a little bit of offense without needing a backflip on the back line from Chicago is really going to be the question. I think they can do it. They looked really strong and they had plenty of opportunities. Chicago was really bunching themselves up in the rotations and left quite a bit of open space from what I was seeing.
Yeah, Drisser, 2.5 demos per game, leads all of Challenger in demos per game. Where was that in game number 1? Didn't look like he wanted to play physical at all. So he gets over the top of Power, but flip again right on the doorstep. Chance for Red Wizard. Oibu avoided the bump from Risser and avoided the bump from Red Wizard as well, and is able to stick with the ball, but again, Risser crashes in to keep the pressure up for Chicago. But yeah, I mean, Flip, important touch after important touch for his team, has been very, very good defensively as he's going to get removed here by Red Wizard. Maybe this is the opening that Chicago needed. To the backboard we go, past midfield. Again, Power on the cut down. And Rochester keeping one of the most offensive teams in Challenger at bay right now, holding them to nothing on the scoreboard. Granted, only 60 seconds into this game, still plenty of time to work something out, to possibly break down the door, but we'll see if something comes out of it. But this matchup right now, low scoring, favors Rochester on the pass. Oibu to the net. It is 1-0 rhythm.
Man, I think I should have kept my my bet going with where I was thinking
really
in the
stupid
initial
right now.
reading. I shouldn't have gone Chicago, because right now Rochester is rolling. They look like a complete team right now. They're making passes. They're rotating really well right now too. They're just working it off each other, and it's just going absolutely perfectly their way. As they've had so much offensive possession, they're working it back between each other. They're not getting overzealous on some of these touches. They're not trying to do it themselves. They're letting each other work, and they're also picking up quite a bit of boost. This is an awkward situation. Oibu does stay composed, though, and that's really what Rochester's been doing so well. They're staying composed in these difficult situations, even though everything looks like it might be lost.
See how things change here for the rest of this season for these two teams. Oh, it's barred down, and it's going to be stuffed by Red Wizard. That kind of came out of nowhere, caught me off guard. Red Wizard pinched it. Risser again hitting the crossbar, and it just wants to stick on the goal line. Man, it is making it difficult on this Chicago team, but finally they are able to get on the board here. Game number 2 it takes, but Risser's got 41 goals this season, looking to get it to 42 in this matchup, but so far in the first 2 games has been shut out. Needs his teammates to step up here as a 50-50 win. Gonna go back right at Oibu, who is able to take his time and kind of just work the ball into that corner. Risser around 1. Oibu, though, jumped early to help out on the cutoff. Halfway done. Game is still tied. Risser off the ceiling, looking to just carry it to the top corner. Again, Power is equal to the task. And again, Rochester holding that back line. Great first touch from Power and a reset, but he is shut down again by Red Wizard, the right-hand man of Chicago. Him and Risser combining for 3 major wins in a row for this jungle team in Challenger, which has never been done before. No team has ever won 3 majors in a row. They're looking to make it 4 in Major 2, but they got to step up here and win this series against I wouldn't say brand new Rochester roster, but a team that is way different from the one they probably saw at the start of the season.
Yeah, definitely a lot different. Red Wizard a little bit awkward. Does get the right touch, though. Slides it right underneath. Power's going to get a good shot, but Duke has plenty of time. Gets in the way. And now Flip trying to work one over the middle. Red Wizard reads it perfectly, just waiting in the right spot. Power has plenty of time, but Duke's going to look for another shot too wide. Risser does get a little bit of control. Pass back to Red Wizard. Dunked by Flip. Oibu's going to have a little bit of space, but shot right at Duke. Flip can't dunk him, and all three players of Rochester are all the way up. Do get a little bit of space, keep it out. Oibu's a little bit quicker. Back over the middle. Risser's on low boost. Power's going to keep it into the corner. See how that works out for them as Flip gets up there first. Back over the middle. Duke looks like Duke and Risser are the only ones with boost. Looks like I think they finally got boost for that third defender in there. And now it's looking really awkward. Risser just doesn't make contact. I believe contact would have finally put them in the lead. Not quite enough. Gets it around one. Oibu's going to have a solo play right here. Maybe works it over the middle for a pass. Power waiting in the middle. Up. Red Wizard trying to block. Does get it. And that offensive pressure looked mighty outstanding there for Rochester.
See kind of how things go for these teams, but we'll see what ends up happening in the latter half of this game. Now just still knotted up at one. Flip midfield for somebody. Oh, that is the wrong net. Oh, that bounce is so poor. But if you're Red Wizard, you'll take it because it's an own goal. Chicago takes the lead. Flip. Yeah. Right off the pass from Red Wizard, we'll call it. Will knock it into his own net. And, I mean, unfortunate for sure, but we'll see what ends up happening here for the Rhythm. As Oibu, Red Wizard both fake it. As nobody wants to hit the ball. Rochester looking for a fake kickoff. Power upfield. Red Wizard challenges him immediately and dispossesses him, as does Duke. Risser to the backboard, lining up two. Does have that off the crossbar, but it is going to be outletted. Flip midfield, a great touch. Power is going to be shot down, though, by Duke. A massive challenge to keep his team on that play. Is this going to pop up? Flip has no boost and has to hit it off his own post. Good news, though, for Chicago is they don't go down 2-0. I think they would have been a little bit nervous if it was 2-0, but they're able to knot up the series at one game apiece.
Looks like Risser might be going for a car change, but Rochester looks really good. Just a few minor mistakes like that accidental own goal off the pinch. I mean, they did look really good. They had so many good opportunities, especially right there in the end. Power was waiting right there, passed it instead of going for the solo play, which I think was the right decision. Just Red Wizard is playing out of his mind, trying to read every single touch, and he's doing it really well too, as it just clearly shows right there. Plenty scores to go around. 2 goals, a save, 4 shots as well. He's getting around there on the field.
Yeah, and we'll see kind of how he starts to move around. But yeah, looking at this series right now, I mean, overall that pass from Flip to Oibu, I really thought that Rochester might just ride that momentum all the way to the finish line, but Chicago able to answer here on this play that, man, just frustrating because Rochester were so close. And then this goal. Gonna haunt Rochester for sure, because if that didn't happen, maybe we're into overtime and maybe the series is, up 2-0 instead of tied at 1. But, yeah, we'll see kind of how things go here going into game number 3.
Turns into a best of 3 now. Just
exactly.
2 games to win. You're dead even with the other team. It's just a complete reset. Rochester really doesn't have to worry about anything. Honestly, if I was them, I wouldn't even change anything I'm doing, because you're playing really well right now. You're playing up to the task against the major winner. You've already won 1 game, and who's to stop you from making 2? Maybe you work the boost a little bit better, because right now the entire Chicago team is full boost, and it's just gotta work it a little bit. You're getting really low at times, and it's just not giving you many options to try and work the pass off. But when you do have boost control, they've been doing it really well. Rochester's been making it happen. Duke got awkward. Power's trying to slot it in. Risser at the very last second. Power gets too far underneath, and Flip gets left in the dust right here. Red Wizard gets a powerful touch. Risser's right there, and they're back up to 1.
Yeah, big goal here from Risser. His 42nd of the season. Does not lead in that category. Goals so far this season for Challenger, at least. Yeah, he's not on top, unfortunately, but is up there. Yeah, total goals, Garrett PS 48. Obviously, that's going to increase after today, but Red Wizard looking to increase his total. Gets the second off of the kickoff, and things a little bit kind of falling apart for Rochester here. They're gonna getting caught with a gut punch a little bit of, you know, Risser and Rochester, Risser and Chicago, excuse me, kind of reminding, too many R's, reminding that why they won that major, why they were the #1 team after that. But Bemidji obviously way up there, technically the #1 team right now standings wise, but toe to toe with this Chicago team. But what a pass again! Flip and Oibu combining for the goal, as Oibu just gets a good first touch here, Sauce, and drops it down for Flip, who's right on the case.
It's a lot about that first touch. Oibu got the perfect one he needed, and it just gave him a little bit of power on the touch, but he still had plenty of boost to follow through. Got the beautiful downward touch off the wall, or off the backboard, and it just worked out perfectly for him. But Duke's still on the wall, trying to work something over the middle. Power a little bit too quick. Oibu finally gets a clear out the other way. Risser is alone on defense, but Oibu doesn't have boost. But a great fake. Flip is going to find himself here for a tie game, 2-2, with plenty of game left to go.
And Flip and Oibu have been all over this offense for Rochester. Power getting involved. And like you said, yeah, I mean, that fake from Oibu was key because he drew the defender out, made him think about it a little bit. And that's exactly what needed, what was needed for Flip to get that open shot. Good first touch from Oibu here. Playing with some pace. Not afraid to play offense against this Chicago team, who also have one of the better defenses in the entirety of the league. Flip! Where does this come from? He doesn't even need to flip. He gets the hat trick off of Power's bounce. He just skims it to the top corner.
Fantastic skim. Not even 2 minutes yet off the clock, and they're already sitting. He's already sitting with a hat trick already that quick into the game, but a lot of that was set up by Oibu. He's been doing really well getting it around players, and got it around the one. Risser had a bad touch, and then all it took was Power getting a pinch off the wall. Flip with the beautiful skim, and now and they've got the lead back yet again. Rochester, like I said, don't change anything. They've been playing fantastic right now, and anything could really happen. Flip's trying to look for another one, but he does draw enough defenders off, and Oibu's going to finally put some insurance on there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to do anything. You just have to make him attack you on the back line. Kind of a little bit of a mistake from Rochester, or from Chicago, excuse me, who are having a tough time dealing with this Rochester attack. Risser, though, doesn't care, decides to play more offense. Gets his second of the game. Oibu's touch gets away from him. Power gets dusted to the backboard. And Risser lines up the double. This game halfway done. And we have 7 goals in this game. I mean, high scoring for sure. As the Rhythm do have the pad like you were talking about. They have the insurance. They're still up. And even if they get scored on, the game is still tied. But I think you're more frustrated if you get scored on of giving up that 2-goal lead because you worked so hard for it. And I tell you what, when you are playing at these higher levels and when you're playing with any sort of thing on the line, as Flip's trying to make it 5, Power maybe should have had that on target, but it is going to hit the crossbar and go wide. When you're playing, at these levels, everything matters. Every single goal matters because sometimes it just takes an army, as Flip does go missing on that read. And unfortunate for sure, as I don't think he was expecting Power to get beat here, but 4-4.
Gotta take your time just a little bit. Can't commit too early when you got Risser has the ball like that. He's gonna pay for it, but oh man, 4 goals are now flying off the board. Complete opposite of what we saw there in game 1 and 2. I believe a 1-0 in game 1 and then 2-1 in game 2. I mean, both these games, all these games have been extremely tight so far. I mean, you can't ask for anything else. I thought it would end in 3. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to 5 anymore.
Oh, Power! Speaking of going to 5, we'll make it 5 off of the redirect from Duke. Flip, just taking his time. I love that play so much. And then infields to Power. I mean, how many times have we seen that from this Rochester attack? They're not looking to just rush at this Chicago defense. They're thinking about it a little bit, slowing the play down, understanding that Chicago are giving them time to make these plays and attempt them. And I mean, Rochester's taking every single advantage from that, as they have pushed this up to a 9-goal game. Maybe Chicago can make it 10. What a read by Oibu, maybe up to Power, who's trying to play a little bit of offense on the other end. Oibu, good first challenge. That's going to go back really, really awkward for Chicago to deal with. Power, though, towards the net. It is shut down. Risser on the outlet to Red Wizard. Back pass to Risser, maybe, but he had to grab the boost first before he even made a play on the ball. Good demo from Oibu here. 56 on the clock for Rochester, who have led the entire way and have had to reclaim their lead multiple times now. Looking to win this game and go up onto match point. And like you said, we are definitely, if Chicago has anything to say about it and they don't win this game, we're going to 5. I mean, there's no other scenario where this doesn't. I mean, with how close these teams are playing offensively.
Yeah, I definitely see it in the future. I mean, I think there's been a game 5 every time I've casted this season so far. Every time I've casted, there's at least one game 5. And honestly, it might be another one because Risser's going to be almost tying it up right now. Duke's going to take it instead, right on the line. 11 seconds left. Overtime, would you have it any other way?
11 seconds to go. It is all 5, all knotted up at 5 apiece. I mean, this Chicago team just will not go away. Right off the kickoff, Flip. We'll have that read. Risser. We'll hit it off the sidewall here. Flip's got to be careful because his teammate was bumped. It is going to bounce, though. Maybe Duke has a chance, but Oibu looking to let it drop. And will we go to overtime? If you are Rochester, this has got to be a win. I mean, frustration in every aspect of things if they do not take this game down. But Power looking to run interference for his team. Flip up the field. Will Flip up the field, but won't have any help here. He'll have to hit it again. Oibu's there, but is beaten by Duke. As 20 seconds in, Risser infield for somebody, and Red Wizard was on the case, but he was not ready for it. And now Chicago having to keep pressure on the ball, but no boost to do anything with it. A good touch from Oibu around 1, but Red Wizard will have the beat as that will go all the way across. And this Chicago attack starting to mount, but a huge clear from Oibu. As Powers just trying to get any sort of interference. This Red Wizard, I think he missed an open net and possible game winner there for a sec, but still into overtime we are at. And again, Rochester trying to end this game.
A great read by Oibu. Already expecting his teammate to make a pop for him. And now it's going to be a little bit awkward. Red Wizard is alone back there, but does get the touch he needs. Flip keeping it out. Oibu looking for another, but it's going to be an awkward touch off the wall. Power's going to make the shot. Saved on the line right at the post. Probably saved it off of the post, using that extra 4th defender. And now we got a bang on target. Risser might get back barely on the line. This game is absolutely tight as we're getting pretty close to 2 minutes of extra overtime. Nearly playing half of an extra game. In and of itself, none of these guys are willing to make too much of a mistake, but we have seen some overcommits out of Rochester. That's going to be something they're going to have to watch out for. And same with Chicago, too. They just get a little overzealous on very, very few attempts, but when they do, some team just, the other team just wants to take some type of an advantage. As it rolls all the way back into the midfield, Risser putting that one back to Oibu, does get the dunk. There's an opening right here. Duke only has to put it on target. Flip is going to make sure, or actually Duke, rather, is going to be able to make sure that one is taken to a Game 4 advantage for them.
Unfortunate if you are the Rhythm, but fortunate if you are Chicago, making the series a 2-1 advantage for them now, as we thought maybe Rochester would take that down and go up 2-1, but Chicago fight back from the brink of basically death. And are able to take this game out. I mean, 6 goals from them, 5 from Rochester. They're just showing that you don't need to play defense. You just need to score more than the other team, which sometimes that's all it comes down to.
Yep, sometimes that's all it comes down to is just scoring the ball. It doesn't take a whole lot. But, I mean, there's really defense is just... I can't believe we went from a 1-0 game to going straight back to a, 11-goal game just a couple games later. Like, it's insane. Like, you would think that they'd be able to make some more defensive effort, and I think that's going to be the focus here in game number 4. Who's going to be able to hold down the line? Is it going to be Rochester? Is it going to be Chicago finally taking away this final game that they need to close out the series, or are we going to see 5? I wouldn't doubt if we see 5 because both these teams are looking fantastic right now, and Rochester had so many opportunities as that Musty there from Power doesn't go the way he wants, and now it looks like a flying V formation here for Chicago trying to make something happen. Pass it over the middle, gets over the middle. Duke's going to have a shot here, not hard enough, and now Rochester's going to take control.
A touch forward. A lot of time here for Chicago to work with. I like the look that they start off with on this game, the fake kickoff, just to make Rochester have to lock in right away from that opening jump. But I will say, yeah, we are destined for a game 5. And as I say that, though, Duke going to put Chicago up 1-0 off of this corner play. Oibu just doesn't get the touch he was looking for. Duke smacks it to the back of the net, and it's honestly just it's honestly Rochester just not getting the plays in their corners specifically that they wanted the entire series, and then they're sitting there having to pick up the pieces of a bad touch or a bad miscue, and then it just becomes scramble mode. But Duke's gonna make it 2-0. I mean, if Rochester can find a lick of defense, they can force this 5th game, but right now Chicago are not having anything of it.
Yeah, honestly, Rochester might be a little discouraged after that game 3 loss there. They're gonna have to bounce back here. It's gonna be important. You're down 2. You've got to find a way to make some offense happen while also not sacrificing on defense. Can't overcommit, as that one could have been dangerous right there, but Flip gets the touch he needs. Bumped out, but now all 3 players are on low boost. Oibu's just trying to make some type of a skim with nothing in the tank. They gotta find a way to get boost as well, work the defense out, and not overcommit. Find your teammates yet again. That's what worked great for you in both games 1 and 3 when you had that offensive pressure. But now it's going to get desperate time in the next 1.5 minutes or so as you get down to crunch time. But Oibu's just going to get it around him. A little bit awkward for the defense right there. Not sure. Actually, no one was in defense. I thought Oibu was a defensive player.
He's playing defense for Chicago. No, he's going to end up stealing that one from Flip, who is having a hell of a series right now. Very high in goal participation for this Rochester offense. And, I mean, pickup so far has worked out for them, but they need a win to solidify it, and they need another goal to even have a chance at that win. So, going to have to play some offense here as that one's going to bounce out. Oibu, a tough read to make, will have the challenge. Flip just looking to play a little bit slow and draw this Chicago team in. But Rochester has struggled on the defensive end, and so far they cannot get out of their defensive end, and it's going to be hard to score and hard to win if you can't cross that midfield line into the orange half. They've gotten one, but they need another. Red Wizard, though, has full possession and a full-on chance to make it a 3-1 game and to get the 2-goal lead back. Is a little bit awkward here. Oibu will make it 2-2, knotted up, and his 2nd goal of the game, but got a little awkward here. I think Grisser, thought Duke was going to go for the ball and ended up just not going.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication. That's all it takes is one little slip up, and now we've got a tie game. Rochester is doing exactly what they need to tie up the game. But now they've got all the momentum carrying themselves here into game 5. Are they going to be able to do it? And they are! They take the lead with half of the time left remaining. This is getting pretty exciting. Are we going to go to another overtime or game 5?
I mean, this is a head scratcher of like, how did that happen? Well, pinged off the backboard and the opposing player was just there ready for the bounce and ready for the shot and scoring the goal. Now with 2 minutes still left to go, Chicago need 1, but I mean, signs are pointing to a tie game here off of the last game. I mean, how many times do we see Rochester with a lead and then Chicago just having an answer on the offensive end? As Red Wizard to the backboard, up the sidewall goes Oibu. Some boost to work with, but is going to have to take a reset here. Leaves it for Flip, does end up bumping him. We'll call it a fake. As Flip looking to run some interference, give Power some time on the ball, but again cutting it out is that Chicago player Oibu. To himself, maybe Flip. Gonna slow the play down. Done a good job of that so far this season or this series. Doing a good job of keeping possession in his team's grasp. But with a minute and some change left to go, I mean, infinite time if you're Chicago. They knotted the last game up with 11 seconds. As we're waiting for the camera to switch. Don't know what's going on.
Me
Past
too.
midfield Flip. We'll have that cut out. As, yeah, wondering if they're ever going to show us what is happening on the other side of the field. A good save from Power and another back-to-back challenges. As he gets some help from Oibu up the field. And they did lose Ecrux recently to retirement, so that's the reason why Flip is on the roster. And, you know, Ecrux is a great player, but I would argue Flip has outplayed his value in this series so far, looking to get his team to a game number 5. Oh, man.
You know, he thought about tying it up.
I said it.
We got 40 seconds left. Here we are.
I spoke
Honestly,
into
we could
existence.
still see 5-5.
Yeah, we could. I wouldn't be surprised. There's 2 more goals on either side, yeah.
Dude, these guys just don't know how to play defense. It's always there. I mean, it looked like we were going to have a fun defensive battle. Go after games 1 and 2. No, we're back to pure offense. Chicago's back on top. Now there's 30 seconds left. Rochester's got to find a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Rochester might find it. If there's any team that will find it, it will be Rochester. They've found a way to claw themselves back in every time. The problem has they haven't been able to hold a lead at all, really, outside of that first game.
28 seconds left. Duke trying to keep possession. Flip reset to the backboard for Red Wizard. Cut out by Flip. Need some possession if you're Rochester. You got to get up the field. Power to somebody. Risser, though, was pre-jumping. And looking to cut it out. Big miss from Red Wizard, though. Ends up just ending up in a pass. Duke to the backboard. 5 seconds now. Is this just gonna keep possession in favor of the Jungle, who almost have it to the ground. Power's able to keep it up. Flip, though. The pass wasn't there. And he flipped forward at the wrong time. Yeah, GG's all the way around. Chicago fight some demons in the last game and in this game and are able to win it in 4. But wow, did they have to work on the offensive end? And I would say even on the defensive end too.
Oh yeah, Chicago was given a run for their money, and by the 11th seed, no less. They put up an incredible fight the entire time. They were looking for anything they could, and they made it interesting. It was pretty much a 1-goal game the entire series.
I mean, I would argue this series could have been, 3-1 the other way if Rochester was able to get some defense, but just a kind of failure defensively is what I would say. They scored plenty, but looked like a team I know all far too well. A team that can, not struggling to get goals on the board, but just struggling to keep the other team off the board. And yeah, we will look back on this series to wonder what could have been if you are the Rochester Rhythm. But yeah, I mean, they fought hard. They played a very, very good team. It's one of the best teams in Challenger for a reason, but I mean, they absolutely went toe-to-toe with them. You can't take much away from really either of these teams. But you can say that Rochester, they played a pretty good series. Got to give it to them at least a little bit. But yeah, this series was won and lost, I think, in that high-scoring game number 3. I think if Rochester were able to pull it out and win it, maybe they win, but just a gut punch is what it was. It really just turned into who's going to who's going to slip up defensively, and unfortunately, Rochester, well, they slipped up a little bit too many times.
Yeah, just to slip up one too many times. But Rochester has something really going for them right now. Going up against Chicago, as close as that was, that gives them a lot of hope going into it. They played really well going against the number 2 seed, and I would honestly be proud of that. That is a lot to go forwards. Granted, they do have a lot of work to do if they want to push the ticket a little bit to get them a little closer to making land, especially with how late in the season it is. But I mean, going from it here, they've got a lot to look forward to going into the next 2 weeks.
Definitely. So we'll kind of see how things go. But yeah, this high-scoring game number 3. I mean, it was what, 5-5 with 11 seconds left. I mean, absolutely crazy to think about how that game was. Absolutely bizarre. But yeah, for sure a fun one. So we'll see what ends up happening here for the latter half of this series. But yeah, a good opening win or a good opening showing from Rochester, and a better win from Chicago as our final match of the night. And I'm about done for the night, ready to maybe hit the hay. It's getting
I'm right there with you.
Getting late, 9 p.m. And yeah, I got nothing else left. If you don't have anything, I'm ready to get out of here.
Yep, I'm ready too. Thanks for having me here on the desk.
No, of course. Appreciate your time, my friend. Absolute blast, as always. And yeah, we will see you guys soon, is what I have to say. That's about it.
Be back here tomorrow.
Oh, for sure. Premiere in soon. Premiere soon. Join us tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. That's all I got. Peace out.